Hello and welcome to take two of another critically acclaimed episode of a weekly deathmatch. In today's episode we will be playing Halo Reach multiplayer, and this is take two because my ramble kind of went off on some very weird tangents and I didn't quite explain myself properly. So even though I've got a very sore throat and I'm come down with a cold, I'm here again to talk to you about Halo Reach. So first of all I want to talk to you about a campaign which I enjoyed up until about halfway through the game, I think on mission 5. Where I fell in love with it. It was so good. Story-wise, that is. Anyway, I mean, I wasn't hugely invested in the story until that middle mission where you kind of, spoilers, go up into space. And ever since then, I loved it. Like for kind of watching the planet fall in the way that it did, and experiencing the narrative. It was great. And as for the actual gameplay, I've got to say Halo's more blunt gun feel kind of took some getting used to, but when you do get used to it, it's really good. It's nice. I like it a lot. It's definitely different to stuff like Destiny and Doom, which has some really solid gunplay feel, but it's not different in a bad way. It's just different, and I like it for what it is. I should really quickly mention this isn't a particularly good multiplayer match that I've captured. Firstly, I am a bit inexperienced, but I have had some decent matches. It's just I couldn't get a decent match today, and I think it is entirely my fault, because watching this video back, my aim is all over the goddamn place, and I make some stupid decisions like rushing in to try and pick up a shotgun that fell, just because I wanted to use the shotgun, even though there was an enemy firing at me from down the corridor. So yeah, apologies for that, but I'm just going to blame it on having a cold. Can I do that? I'm going to do that. But yeah, the campaign was great. I look forward to running through it again on higher difficulties and with friends and stuff like that. It's really fun to see as an avid Destiny 2 player where some of Bungie's game design stuff, like you can kind of see earlier iterations of it. For instance, the similarity in diverse enemy types and the way levels are designed and laid out and stuff like that. You can really kind of see how they got to Destiny from Halo, and I love stuff like that. I love going back through the catalogs, a developer's catalogue, and seeing where they got ideas from and seeing how ideas evolved. It's always in ways you wouldn't expect as well. As for multiplayer, yeah, I love it. So Slayer, I really like for longer time to kill based on modern multiplayer games. For instance, you don't have. I think the only thing you can really one-shot someone with is either a melee to the back or a sniper rifle to the head. Oh, and a sword, of course. But, I mean, that's so much better than the myriad of ways you can do it in Destiny 2 with various like, fusion rifles and fucking supers and certain abilities like handheld supernova and stuff. I've been getting so tired of running around in Crucible and just dying because someone pressed their button, or because a Titan did something to trigger an instant melee kill that had nothing to do with me. Like, it's fine, it's not necessarily a flawed version of multiplayer, it's just a different version of multiplayer, and it's been super refreshing to play a game that doesn't have a lot of that stuff. Oh, I'm getting spam call, go away. But as for other game modes as well, SWAT is super fun. I really like SWAT. As someone who grew up playing Unreal Tournament against bots on Instagib a lot, as my kind of introduction to first-person shooters, I really like SWAT. Even though I've just praised Halo for its longer time to kill, it is also nice to have that game mode which lowers everyone's health and makes it so that you can get instant headshots with a DMR and all of that lovely stuff. I'm pretty sure the scout rifle looking things are called DMRs anyway. I was calling the assault rifle things DMRs for a long time. That's one gripe I have about Halo. It doesn't tell you what the actual name of your weapon is unless you're picking it up off the ground, so I never know what the fuck anything is called. I'm always like, oh, you know, the energy rifle thingy, the energy assault rifle, or the pistol that you can charge up. I don't know any of the actual names, but I'm sure that will change in time. But yeah, SWAT's really fun. Infection is another game mode I've been waiting to play for years, and I fucking love it. The the feeling of holding out against zombies as they grow their ranks and pick you off is amazing. I've been the last man standing a few times now, and I've definitely had some what feel like hero moments, and oh, I love it so much. It's probably a good sign that I can't think of a favourite game mode right now. It's kind of a toss-up between Infection and SWAT. Oh, and Snipers. I do like Snipers, but I kind of throw that in with SWAT game modes. Just because it's kind of similar. You have one weapon that does a lot of damage and everyone has it and they're all trying to shoot each other with it, and it's a little bit absurd. Typically I stick to the 4v4 playlists unless it's free for all like this one, because the large maps they're a very different style of gameplay, and I just don't feel like I've got the hang of them yet. Although the other day I did get 13 sword kills in one life, so that was pretty neat. But yeah, just in general, I fucking love the aesthetic of Halo. Like for coloured armor, like the big chunky coloured Space Marine armor, the spaceships, the interior of spaceships, how they look, the Covenant, the elites, how they look, the energy swords, and all of that kind of stuff, and just the general multiplayer maps. There is just something about the visual design of Halo that I cannot get over, and it is one of the main things that has kept me wanting to play these games for years. Even the earlier games, which now look like shit, you can like play them in their old graphics settings when they come out in the Master Chief Collection, and I think I'm going to do that when Halo 1 comes out in the Master Chief Collection on PC. I think my first playthrough of it is going to be with the original graphics, just because A, I like them, as polygonal as they are, I like them, but B, because I never played the original games. In fact, Reach is the only one I've played still, obviously. I feel like I won't be able to appreciate the up-res version of it for what it is. I'll just be like, oh cool, this is what a game looks like. It looks a bit like Reach or whatever. I won't be like, oh wow, they made so many improvements to this or whatever. I know you can change it at the touch of a button, but I honestly just want to go through the original campaign of Halo 1 without ever touching that button, so that when I go through it again I can play it on higher graphics and be like, wow, look, this place looks so good now. Anyway, that is my very painfully given Halo Reach ramble. I don't know what's happening to my throat, it feels like it's tearing itself apart. Very quickly I will mention another game I've been playing a lot recently is Elder Scrolls Online. I'm back on the wagon. I finished the Elsweyr campaign. It got interesting about one quest before I stopped playing last time. And also I finished what I think is the main story of the Dragonhold questline. The DLC, the Southern Elsweyr stuff, although Abnathan's just shown up. So I'm guessing I've got some more stuff to do there, but that seems to be more tied into the general season of the Dragon or whatever. And apparently they're unveiling the next year of content soon, with the next chapter and the next season and stuff, and I'm super fucking excited to find out what it is. But right now, as soon as this video is done rendering, man, I'm going back to ESO. I played it until nearly 2 AM last night, because I was like, one more quest, and then that quest went on forever. So expect content from that coming out soon. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one, providing I don't die.